Okay, it's come to that time of year again. We have another new Marvel movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Putting on my cloak of levitation because we're going to talk about Doctor Strange. Okay, I've been looking forward to Doctor Strange for a very long time. It's one of those Marvel movies where it's a lesser known superhero movie origin story, and I love watching those because I like seeing the characters that aren't too well known on the big screen because you just get to know them more. All I really know about Doctor Strange, I'll be honest, is his basic origin, what his powers are, what he does, how he fits into the comic book universe. He's a supernatural force. That's all I really know about him, and this movie really, really does sort of, it makes you a fan of the character like you would expect it to, like Ant-Man did and all that sort of stuff. Um, and Doctor Strange, I have to say, really, really does rank up well in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm lucky I got to see it opening day in the UK. I know it's not even out in the US and other parts of the world for another like 10 days or something stupid like that. Kind of weird how they do that considering these aren't actually like, you know, British films to say. But, I'm glad we get them early. I'm glad I get to talk about them early and let you guys know, I think, before you guys get to go and see it. So, Doctor Strange, let's get straight into it. The basic plot is we have a doctor. He's like a neurosurgeon, and obviously he uses his hands a lot. At the beginning, we get a lot of close up on the hands, and that plays a pretty important part because he gets into a crash and his hands get destroyed, and he can't do his job anymore. And he wants to learn to sort of use his hands again so he can become the neurosurgeon everyone knows and loves him as. It sounds like a pretty boring tale there, but it's really, really not because he goes to train in the ancient arts with the Ancient One, played by Tilda Swinton. There was a lot of controversy surrounding her because in the comics, the Ancient One is an Asian man, and in this one, she's a white lady. But I have to say, Tilda Swinton does the best job you could expect her to do in a role like this. She is so good as the Ancient One. There's a lot to talk about with her, but I don't want to talk about them here because I don't want to delve into spoiler territory because I'm going to do a separate video for spoilers. But I'll just say that she really adds a lot to the movie and that she really makes the movie, like the focus is all on, Cumberbatch as Stephen Strange, which you want, but she really is a part of this movie that you actually like to see other than him, which, you just expect, oh, it's a Benedict Cumberbatch movie, it's going to be the Benedict Cumberbatch show, and we're going to love him in the movie, but nobody else is really going to stand out. We have some really good stand-up performers. Chit Fuel Ejiofor, I don't know his name, it's so hard to pronounce. 12 Years a Slave, the main character from that, really good as Mordo. You have Benedict Wong as a character, funnily enough, called Wong, and you have Mads Mikkelsen as the villain of the film, and he does a good job. I mean, Marvel Cinematic Universe isn't known for its villains, like, at all. The only real good villains I can think of, I've mentioned before, are Loki and Red Skull. Everyone else is so bland and forgettable. Mads Mikkelsen does fine in this film, but he doesn't have that much screen time, and the screen time he has is great, but he doesn't actually have all that many lines either. So there's not like a huge deal to remember him by from this film. But when he's in it, he is bloody great in it. Again, I'll talk about him more in the spoiler video. But the main thing about this movie that's great is the visuals. They are so good and so stunning. From the trailer, it's what I was expecting, there's action sequences that take place and characters like running up walls, but the walls are actually flipped around so it looks like they're running on the floor, but it's like all upside down and they're running through the sky. And you remember Inception, that film where you had people like bending reality and changing the shape of buildings and stuff? That happens in this, but it's not in dreams, it's in real life, and it is absolutely crazy. It's trippy as balls. I mean, I was watching this film and my head was spinning and I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. I also saw it in 3D, which it does enhance the experience. It makes everything a bit dark, but it really does enhance it, and things are just coming at you from all areas. And it's not very often that a 3D film does do that, but this one does. And like I said, Benedict Cumberbatch in the main role is just so good. You've got Tony Stark is Iron Man. You've got Chris Evans is Captain America. I feel like this is a role that Benedict Cumberbatch, See, I'm already saying they're the same person. I feel like this is a role he can take on for himself and make into his role, like those actors have, because he really, you can tell he's passionate for this character and he loves playing this character and he loves being in this role. And you can see he's having fun while making the film. and all the stuff where they're conjuring up spells with their hands, and it's really cool. It's like a really awesome version of Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter, don't get me wrong, but it's like if Harry Potter like took loads of drugs and suddenly he could start conjuring up spells with his mind and his hands. That's Doctor Strange, man. I mean, if you're if like trippy things and you know like mind bending and like seeing things spin around on the screen affect you, then don't see this movie because it really will affect you. But I really do highly recommend this. It's not only one of the best films I've seen this year, it's actually one of the best in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I don't say that lightly. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I actually don't, there isn't a single film that I hate in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but this one really does rank among the best because it's something completely different. I've heard people complain about the basic story and plot of the film. It has a basic setup, but the stuff that happens in the film is far from basic and far from something we've seen before from Marvel. It's completely different. We've never seen anything like this. We've seen the Hulk, who is a big green rage monster, and we've seen Guardians of the Galaxy, where we've got a talking tree and a raccoon, but there's nothing as bizarre as this film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as of yet, and I really can't wait to see how Doctor Strange translates into the rest of the universe, because it's just, this film is definitely one of the better superhero films and origins we've had as of recently. And to see all that tie into stuff we've seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I want to see how they'll do it. It'll be interesting. I think the next time we will see Doctor Strange may just be next year. I won't spoil why or how I think that, but I will in the next video I do on this film. So look out for that one. But I've got to say, Doctor Strange, it's one of the most enjoyable films I've seen for a very long time. It's really funny, you know. His whole cloak is actually hilarious, and the setup for that is so funny. There's great chemistry between... I forgot to mention, Rachel McAdams is actually in this movie. She doesn't have a massive role, but she's very good. I was going to say, there's great chemistry between Benedict Cumberbatch and Rachel McAdams and Tilda Swinton and Benedict Wong. Everyone does great, especially when Benedict Wong and Benedict Cumberbatch are on screen together. It's very funny, and they do bounce off each other very well. But overall, this film, it's absolutely brilliant, and I can't fault it. I don't really have anything bad to say about it, apart from the fact that maybe it does drag on a little bit in a couple of scenes, but it has to explain the character, because like I said, not many people know of him and of his origin. I mean, that's all I knew about him. But it really does do a good job at setting up a new character in this world, and I can't wait to see what they do with new characters next. I mean, I know next one I can think of is Captain Marvel, because next year we've got just sequels, but I really can't wait to see how they translate the whole Doctor Strange mythos and supernatural magical elements into the MCU, because we haven't actually seen that yet, and I want to see like Doctor Strange and Tony Stark and you know, Bruce Banner and all those characters interacting with each other, because it'll be so interesting, because they're all just such different personalities. So that'll be great to see. But this film just proves that the lesser known and more bizarre characters really do translate well into this universe. I mean, first we had Guardians of the Galaxy, then we had Ant-Man, and now we've had this. They are all prime examples of why Marvel needs to keep doing movies like this. I'm really looking forward to Captain Marvel, because apparently she is going to be the most powerful being in the Marvel Universe, and to see her face off against Doctor Strange, it's going to be pretty good. So, yeah, has anyone seen Doctor Strange yet? If not, let me know what you thought. Like I said, this video is as spoiler-free as possible. If you want to see a video with spoilers and a discussion about the post-credit scenes as well, then the next video will be coming very shortly. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed Doctor Strange, and let me know what you think. What is your favourite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie so far? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys soon.